All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Ouran High School Host Club, episode 23.
Bossa-Nova has discovered Haruhi's secret. And he's also very sweet.
Yes, he is very sweet. Yes, yes. He's a good guy. He's taken care of some people that ended up, on the street and then ended up just in his heart. Well, he's in their heart.
He's in their heart. And they are in his heart, but maybe not necessarily, in the ways that they're in each other's hearts, that's up in the air a little bit. But now his attraction towards Haruhi that he will understand it a bit better. And given the fact that we saw that little bit of the teaser for the next episode, enough to know that he is in this episode, does that mean that now he will try and fully steal Haruhi's heart?
We shall see. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Yes, the bomb gag.
Yes.
Wait. What is this? That background. Now you must die.
Dead men tell no tales.
見たねボサノバッチ
見てねいやちらっとは見たけど一瞬だけだから見てね見たのは見たけどいややっぱ見てね
この人春日の秘密知っちゃったらしいよまずいね
Oh yes, now the meteor.
何を見た僕らの知らない春日の乙女の柔肌をどこまで見た
Unknown to us.
Wow.
着替え中で下着姿を
春日の下着姿を見たのか
Oh no.
ぶん殴って記憶なくさせるしか
Coming up a crime will take a lot of effort on my part. Yeah.
Right. I don't want to deal with that.
なよ殿なんかあまりのショックで抜け殻じゃん
Now here comes the meteorite. Yes. Oh no,
There
it's just
we
the
go.
sun. A solar flare. Just.
筋の家のご子
Oh
息なら
Jesus.
噂ぐらい耳にしているだろう
Oh
我
god.
が大鳥家を敵にしただけでも日本政財界の黒玉ねぎ部隊と呼ばれる大鳥プライベート
The Black Onion Squad.
そんな事態はもちろん避けたいよね
Of course. Naturally.
明らかに話し合いじゃねえ
No.
No. Not at all.
Kyoya uses intimidation.
藤岡
Oh.
あのね、別に人に言ってもいいよ。全然平気だから。
They'll just fall over.
Yeah.
ありゃりゃボサノバッチ女と知って春日に惚れたか
Oh god, Tamaki. Oh my
I
god.
love it. I love it.
みんなで関係にするっつうから俺
Yes.
ジュースガブ飲みしまくってこんなには聞かない
Oh my god! That's
is
so
amazing.
pure! That's so pure!
学校で新たな悩みができたんじゃねえすかね
Oh. Tetsuya, no.
実はさっき
Possibly.
食事を持って俺の部屋を覗いたら
Oh my god. Yes! Yes! I was just thinking that!
Yes!
Yes!
And it's not.
I was this close
It's not.
to saying
She loves me.
it.
She loves me not. It's. Do I like her? Do I love her?
Right.
Oh.
やっぱり俺は藤岡のことを
And now they know the name too.
それはつまり恋の悩み
Oh, spring has come.
そういやえらい可愛らしい顔してたな 男
Yes,
子にして
him,
は
he,
For a
God.
guy.
相手は男
We must be respectful of this.
Indeed. And you know what? This is the great way to pave the way
分
for...
かったら余計可愛く思えてきた
こら、覗いちゃダメだぞ。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
あのね、別に人に言ってもいいよ。
Right? At that moment, he just was like, oh!
Yeah.
あんなキャラキャラことを言い訳して
Her unhappiness.
じゃねえかわざわざ男
Oh
に
man.
ポストやってるなんてよほど辛い事情があるに
Have
決まって
to.
いる
Oh, that's what he thinks. Oh my god.
So it's
Now
like...
he's gonna fight the whole host club.
Yeah, I'm going to rescue her.
藤岡が黙ってほしい
Oh,
俺は
Jesus.
命に変えても秘密は守ってやる
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, this is getting a bit obsessive, my dude. Like,
Possibly,
藤岡を支
yeah.
援したい
Oh my god! Yes! Yes!
And
Renga!
Yes!
Yes!
This is your time!
The genuine article.
Wait, does Renga not realize? Or is she just playing up to the act?
Not here. Not this day.
Just hearts.
Hot. Yeah. Yeah. The flames of Moe!
Yes!
Just be honest.
I know.
Oh, you'll really move her too. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh.
お客様、こういうお店は初めてですか?
It is actually. He's causing like a mini earthquake in her.
Right.
He's so strong.
よくわからなかったけど。
The whole table is just shaking.
Right.
春日の秘密も守ってくれているようだし、
Yeah.
お客様として来ているのにお断りする
It's a
理由
good
がど
point.
こに?
Popped it immediately.
Yep.
ちょっと見て。
Yeah, he's smitten.
春日くん、
Yes.
してますわ。
I love that all the girls are just like, oh my god, this is adorable. You know?
春日のお稽古だと思って。今すぐホスト部にいらして。すごいものが見られますわ。
Yes, something
I
beautiful.
love it.
急いでホスト
Oh my god.
Just calling everybody.
彼のおかげで今日の客入り
Aha, big brain Kyoya.
Cha-ching.
殿、いつまで寝てるんですか。こういう時こそキングの出番じゃんか。
He's like, there's a flea on the fly, on the hair, on the log, hole in the bottom of the sea.
Yes.
Ma.
Yes.
玉木先輩
Terminator senpai.
座るんならこっちに座ってください。ほら、暇ならこれあげますから。さっきインスタントコーヒーを買ったスーパーで。
Wow.
That's hilarious.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. How?
Like a little kid,
Yep.
just keeping him entertained.
Well, right, but it's also the L. There could be two symbols for male.
あのバカは。
They called him.
いつまで現実逃避してんのさ。言っとくけど、殿がロボット化してる間に事態はどんどん深刻化してるんだからね。
Mama.
よく考えてみてよ。もしこのままほっといてボサノバッチに春日をかっさらわ
Oh
れでも
no,
した
they're gonna
ら、
manipulate
春
him.
日の行く末は姉さんなんだよ。
I mean, Haruhi would rock.
Oh my god. Yes.
舐めたらあかんで。
Holy shit! That is a. Oh! That was amazing!
That was incredible.
Oh!
That was absolutely
I'm attracted
amazing.
to Haruhi.
Oh, yeah.
Now that was. Oh! A duel!
何をしているのかね。せっかく確かめ合った射程たちとの絆を今こそ深めんでどうする。いざだな。
Just, I hope Tamaki doesn't reveal Haruhi's secret.
しかしそれでもまだ君が春日とお近づきになりたいと言うなら父であるこの俺を倒してからにしてもらおうか。
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
父って
Oh no, he's gonna take him literally! No!
血は繋がってないかもしれんが。
Yes, explain exactly what you mean by that term.
Oh my god!
いや、それはないけど。お会いしたこともないし。
それじゃあ父親じゃない。
That's
You would
right!
do well to
You
learn
tell him,
that, Tamaki.
Bossa-Nova! You tell him,
You know,
Bossa-Nova!
now Haruhi might just fall in love with him.
That's possible.
そうだった。厳密に言えば。
No.
Strictly speaking, I am not the father.
厳密に言わなくても。
Yeah, yeah, exactly! Ah, yes,
Throwing
all
into a
of your
black hole.
universe collapses into nothing.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is amazing.
Now burn up into LCL and get disseminated amongst the universe.
もしも仮に
Your own internal
仮に俺が春日の
malfunctions?
じゃないと
Yeah.
仮定するなら春日のことをこんなにも可愛く愛おしいと思うのは。
Oh my god. self-actualization.
Right.
Achieved.
Basic self-awareness.
Yes.
お父さんでないならあの二人を邪魔する権利など俺に
Uh-huh.
はないはず
That's exactly right.
今まで散々お嫁さん妄想とかしてたのは一体何？
でも先輩ってなんかうちのお父さんみたいなとこ
They
ある
do
んだよ
have
ね。
similarities. That's true. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No.
今春日が俺のことをお父さん見たいって言ったぞ。俺また来てもいいか？いや女の相手ばっかするよりたまには秘密知ってるやつも来た方が少しは気が楽なんじゃねえかと思ってさ。
Knees not knocking.
嬉しいよ。カサノバくんと仲良くなれて。
Oh. And of course, all the girls are just swooning.
Right. But, like,
藤岡
oh,
Wait,
wait. Oh,
wait.
he's following up. I thought that
Oh,
was
no.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna do it.
やべえ
Oh
気
no.
持ち悪い
He's gonna confess.
藤岡のことが
Do it, man.
Oh boy.
藤岡のことが
And the girls, yeah, they're like, is this happening?
やっぱり価値観の合う友達っていいよね。こういう話できる人っていなかったからいいよね。そういう友達って。
The repeating
Oh,
it, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
振られちゃいました。いいお友達でいましょうってやつですわね。
Who's even throwing those?
The monkeys that bring the
Oh.
bananas, obviously.
ずっと友達だ俺たちはな
Oh, now they're all like,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my god.
We all understand your feelings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you will... Uh-huh, yeah.
一緒にかっけりしよ
Ah! You can borrow such a.
ここだ春日。なんだお前ら。ここは春日と二人だけの隠れ家なんだぞ。だいたいなんで殿と春日が一緒に隠れなきゃなんないわけ？バカ者。父さんなら娘と一緒に隠れるのは当然だろうが。
About that.
必然性がないな。
シカちゃんは発展途上型の無自覚さんだけど、タマちゃんは明らかにハルちゃんが好きなのに自分じゃ分かってない超同級生でいいのかな。
Wow. Cool.
Oh.
こんな調子で僕らが卒業するまでに少しは進展するのかな。
Hmm.
そうの。
That's a good
なぜ
question.
関係になんだ。
そんなに押さないでください。
俺の春日に触るな。殿のじゃないでしょ。じゃあ誰のだというのだ。
誰のものでもありません。
And Finn.
Da, da, da. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
End
hilarious.
of the Bossa-Nova stuff.
End of the Bossa-Nova arc. And dude, my heart goes out to you. You know, that's
Yep.
rough, but way to go. Way to go.
Almost shot your shot.
Well, you did shoot your shot. You know? And she realized that that's what was going on, and I'm sure
yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah. No, what am I talking about?
But he.
Bossa-Nova will definitely feel worse of the fact that he wasn't able to actually say
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
Right?
yeah.
'Cause there's even if getting shot down, having the catharsis of being able to say it, be huge. He went through the whole thing of, do I like her? Do I love her? Do I like her? Do I love her? You know. So
In every other piece of medium I've seen, it's the do they love me or do they not
Right.
like me or and then this is the do I like her or do I love her?
right,
Which because
I love.
isn't it very similar in Japanese, like or love?
I'm not sure because I know that there's
There's ski.
well right there's yes
Which
there's
is-
daisuki and aishiteru or whatever right
Oh,
which is-
aishiteru is the more formal one, though.
right.
So it could be
but I've-
the
but
same
I've-
thing then. It's just an informal versus informal.
Right,
thing.
I've heard plenty of anime confessions where it was daisuki, or rather, very few that were aishiteru. So,
Same. Yes. Same here.
but one of the other things that has always been like a thing that stood out to me is that a lot of the times in anime, whether with sub translations or dub translations, there will be this
sure.
idea of like, no, I don't like them, therefore I must hate them. You know, like, you know, right? And then it's the so I'm not sure if that's as a result of the language or just like the dramaticness of the characters or something like that.
Sure.
But
Makes sense, yeah.
Bossa-Nova, way to go.
What a guy.
What a guy. You have potentially, you are up there in the like top 10% of like, how do I say this? Of emotional awareness of the characters in this show, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
Because-
even the top, like, 3%. You know?
Right, exactly. Because a bunch of people like Haruhi in this show, none of them have even admitted it to themselves, much
Yep.
less actually tried to, you know, tell Haruhi their feelings.
Right.
So, way to go.
Way to go.
This was not a failure. That was a resounding success that just
it's your first
didn't
step.
go the way you wanted.
It's your
right?
first step, buddy.
Exactly.
And while you got shot down, and it was a very clear shot down bit because
Yep.
you did pause for, like, 20 seconds or
Oh, yeah.
something.
She
Yeah.
could tell where you were going, and
Everyone
hence the saying
could
friend
tell.
twice. Yeah.
And that is unfortunate that you had a massive peanut gallery audience that were, you know,
Yes.
maybe a
That-
bit fetishizing, you know,
Oh,
your
absolutely.
interactions.
But I gotta say, that means Bossa-Nova, the stones that you have to do all that in front of a crowd while they're, you know, like just watching you.
Hungrily watching you like hawks, you know?
Like you have all of their rapt attention, you know. Renga, who might even have been like making allusions to just herself being the mangaka for Ouran, you know, was saying like, yes, I'm going to, right, which totally makes sense,
It's a
right?
self-insert.
Yeah,
Talking
exactly.
about meta and breaking the fourth wall like there's no tomorrow.
Right. You know, saying that she's going to include, you know, an excerpt on you in the Moe Ouran volume 11 or whatever. So, okay. But yeah, so good job, my dude. Good
Great
job.
Great job. Yeah.
And now, the rest of the host club.
Yes, the rest of the host club. We have some things to talk about because there was some interesting dialogue and interactions here where Tamaki was actually the simplest part of it. Because Tamaki's realization that, I do actually like her, came as a twist to us, not because he realized it, but because we thought he had some awareness. Like 0.01% awareness that he liked her, but apparently he had zero. And
based
that's
on
huge.
And based on what Honey and Takashi were saying at the end of the episode and how he was interacting around Haruhi, he still might. He has this might be the time where he now has 0.1%, you know? Right, exactly.
So he's going to be a slow burn until some kind of big dam hits and just breaks things through.
And there's a very good possibility that won't happen while they're in high school.
Or it might not happen while Haruhi is single.
Sure. Yeah.
It will take someone actually being like, hey, I'm just going to confess my feelings to her. And then Haruhi's like, yeah, sure, let's go on a date. Let's have a good time.
Tamaki,
and then
you got lucky.
Tamaki's going to think his world has ended. Which it's hilarious in that they frame it as a joke, but it is also just to show a little bit in that he is pathetically obsessive over Haruhi to the point where it's
delusional.
Absolutely delusional, to the point where he needs some help. He needs some serious help. And I think because a lot of the other characters do care about him quite a bit, they will kind of come to his aid, but it will be this like unraveling of his onion, if you will, as he peels off all these layers of himself, of play acting as the king, you know, trying to be her daddy, you know, all this stuff that he's attached to it. When he just picked up her books in the pool in episode 1, that was it.
Yep.
She liked him right there because he was just being a good guy that had no other stuff attached to it.
Right. And over the last 22 episodes since then, you might have ruined that.
Yeah, there's a possibility that she likes him less than she did in the first episode. However, I think she likes him in the friendship kind of way a lot more.
Yes.
Because of the fact that he is so much of a character.
Yeah.
And if Ouran wants to blow my mind, have them actually start to bring apart that divide where because of the character that he's played, she doesn't know who he really is.
Yeah, that's true. And I think they've mentioned that at some point that like
Yeah.
she doesn't actually know too much about him or his family or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and that could be really cool to have like before this show is over,
and
at least a little bit of time focused on.
And
that.
how many episodes do we have left? Is it
I
like
don't
2
know.
or 3?
I don't remember. I think it's at least 25 episodes. It could be 26.
Okay.
So
but
I'm not
we
sure.
are very close to the end. So Takashi and Honey's little conversation really like it's good that we're having it because it's the whole. If it hasn't happened by now,
Oof.
like.
Oof.
Do you like me? Check back in 25 episodes. It's like, well, that's about to pass.
Right. In some ways, I kind of hope that this story has a lot of like source material and stuff that goes beyond it, so the story doesn't end here.
Right.
Although I would love some kind of a satisfying conclusion for the host club as a whole. And given that, like we saw like a second and a half of the teaser of the next episode, it seems like it's going to be focused on Kyoya. Which, if Kyoya is the focus, and that little bit of there's someone who might be just as oblivious hidden between Kyoya and Kaoru.
And Kaoru, that was
yeah. Kaoru is one of the most, I would say, emotionally observant and aware characters in the.
Because he's stuck with Hikaru.
Yeah, because he kind of has to be in his situation.
And I would think
even though he's the kind of an immature little devilish boy,
Right. And I would think that Kyoya would be as well because he's stuck with Tamaki.
Well, that's the thing.
But
I don't think he is. In a lot of ways, Kyoya's interactions with Haruhi at times have been rife with conflict. And in some ways in a needless kind of way. I think back to the beach episode where Kyoya was like, "Oh, you were way out of line and out of sorts, dude." And then even the one where he was dragged out into the mall, we can see very much that there's a mask that he's putting on for everyone outside of the host club.
Oh,
see,
I mean, I would say even with the host club too, but
yes, of course.
Okay.
The host club is the guaranteed. Everyone's wearing a mask in the host club.
Sorry, within the host club members.
Well, yes, but I'm saying that outside of the host club, we see a lot of the truer aspects of the characters come out.
Sure.
Kyoya, I don't. If anything, like, he very much made it clear that here's the mask part of me, and here's this other thing that, wait a minute, who's that, Kyoya? Who's that? And if the next episode is focused on Kyoya, I think it's 100% saying that Kyoya is the one that's very lacking in self-awareness.
Yeah, Kyoya, of all the host club members, like not counting Haruhi, of course, right? He is the one that I find most interesting from the standpoint of serious development and characterization, because he's almost definitely the most mature.
Sure. Or Mori, because he has less opportunities to be immature.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's I say almost definitely because I don't know exactly where Mori falls.
Right,
because he doesn't say much.
He
actually got 2 lines this episode. It was amazing.
Yeah.
He was like, could be, or something like that. But oh man,
there might have been another in the beginning, but yeah. But I think 2 is pushing it.
Right. Like they even mentioned in one of the other episodes of like, Mori's probably upset because he's only been getting 1 line per episode. Like when he said and then he wasn't saying anything to like the other stuff that Honey was saying.
I felt that.
I got the feeling for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Is the 1 line per episode actually like a stipulated thing that they have an agreement somewhere of like, no. We need to keep Mori's like quiet, stoic character like really high up there. If it's not a focus Mori episode, 1 line per episode. That's all you get. Use it wisely.
Well, I think that might actually be a contractual thing where if as a voice actor, he has to have at least 1 line.
He has to have at least 1 line. There
Otherwise,
you go.
he's not actually in the credits, So like that's
probably
all it is. It's just a production thing.
Man.
But in a serious note, Bossa-Nova, you have a lot of courage and you have a lot of heart.
Yes.
And I like the fact that he was attracted to Haruhi before he was certain that she was a girl.
Yep.
And he did get more attracted to Haruhi because she's a girl.
Right.
But in the midst of that, all of his retinue are just like, that we will support him. Yes, absolutely.
Well, we got all ready to play kick the can.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he came back like he killed somebody.
He has heartbreak that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
No, I want Bossa-Nova.
It's Bossa-Nova.
It's Bossa-Nova. Yeah, exactly. To have at least 1 more appearance. I don't want this to be all we get of him.
If anything, that could be like, now, of course, his heart has been crushed, right, by Haruhi, right?
He'll recover. He's strong.
Oh, yes, he's strong and he will recover.
And he put a permanent marker.
And who knows? Maybe there will be some help given to him by
Tetsuya?
Yeah, it's possible. But that would be if he did make another appearance, that would be a great way to show, potentially as observable evidence for the other people in the host club, that even if you make a confession and you get shot down, Haruhi's still able to be chill around you. It's like your friendship isn't necessarily going to be ruined, right? There will be a part of your dynamic that will be ruined because that one-sided love, or whatever that you had will suddenly, you'll know that that's going to just be one-sided forever, right? But as far as the actual friendship goes, that could still continue, But,
if it's Kyoya, and I'm kind of meta doing this because the next episode seems to have a Kyoya focus potentially.
And Kaoru doesn't seem totally clueless. If anything, Kyoya could be clueless because we don't get a close enough perspective on him.
I think the reason why I don't think it's Kaoru is another meta reason. We had a lot of Kaoru and Hikaru development and focus recently.
Yes.
I think that the only reason that they would go all the way in on that is if one of the twins confessed.
And that's something
that's very likely.
I could see that happening, right?
Because that would change things up with Tamaki.
Yeah, and Kaoru, the other way I could see it happening is that, okay, so we have a bunch of the members of the host club that like Haruhi, right? If anything, the only one that we're almost positive doesn't in any kind of romantic way is Honey. Right?
Yeah.
Because he only has a mind for sweets and Takashi,
Musa.
Right?
Oh, and Takashi. Thank you. Yes, that's true.
And Takashi, who knows? He's a mystery, right?
Takashi, I think actually does like Haruhi, but I don't think he's the kind of person that's needs her to respond. Because I think the one time where we were kind of certain that there was something there was when he kind of went a little bit overtly chivalrous to like, I will protect you and stuff.
Yeah.
And cradle you in my arms, and it's like, oh, okay, Mori.
Right.
Like,
if not for this conversation that he had with Honey here, I would think that it would be perfectly possible, even if on a meta reason I would find it unlikely, that he could like make a dramatic love confession that for him is super dramatic, but it might be like, Haruhi.
Yeah, and then that's
I am fond of you.
Well, okay, like, but like, wouldn't it just be perfect though if he just goes Haruhi, and it's just like, sorry, Mori Senpai is just like, just
right,
but then that's it. That was his confession.
But yeah, I like, because we've seen people confess to Mori. I would just love to see Mori make an actual confession at some point. But given that he had that conversation with Honey, if he does like Haruhi, he's got a great handle on things.
Right,
with
exactly.
Kaoru though, I could see
Kaoru, we know
something...
that he likes Haruhi.
We know that he likes Haruhi,
but he also cares about his brother.
He also cares about his brother.
Right.
And Hikaru is so hopeless.
Yes.
That and I like that they mentioned that it's understandable, right? Hikaru is a lot younger, so the fact that he's clueless.
No, not younger than Kaoru.
Not younger than Kaoru, by 3 minutes, no. But younger than Tamaki, it's more understandable that he doesn't know how to deal with his feelings and things like that, right? It's okay, you're 15, right?
Right.
But with Kaoru, because he is more aware of his feelings, but he knows, like, I could totally see us getting an episode where he realizes, I actually really like Haruhi, but what do I do? Because Hikaru likes Haruhi and it would crush him, but he wouldn't even understand why it was crushing him, right? Like, and as a result of that, there's also no chance that I really have that Hikaru will like make his move, get shot down or accept it or whatever, and then that could give me an opportunity, like, so I could see it being a really nasty stasis that Kaoru would basically be in if he was the person that they were talking about, that Takashi and Honey were talking about. But if it is Kyoya, there's like, it could be about Haruhi, it could be about Tamaki, it could be about pretty much anyone, because Kyoya is the one that thinks he has it all figured out, right? And for the most part, he does. But if he ever didn't, he would have no idea he didn't.
Yes.
I feel like that's
a great way to describe it. That's where he could have a total lack of self-awareness, is that he doesn't know what he doesn't know,
right,
in very specific areas, and he will not grow necessarily in those areas because he's focused on the things that he knows that he knows.
Yep, exactly.
Which is okay. To be fair, everyone has things that they don't know that they don't know.
Right. And in fact, that's almost usually the case, right?
Yeah. That's universal. The main thing that is when wisdom starts to come into play here, just experience, is you bump up more often because you've just lived longer and you've had more just seeking out of these experiences.
More awareness of exactly just
Where
the unfathomable, depths of how much you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the beginning of wisdom is accepting that you know nothing.
Right.
And I would say that Kyoya is the character that displays the most competence, other than Honey Senpai, actually, because he's not focused on martial arts.
Honey isn't human, so
that's true. Honey is a monster, a WMD.
Right.
But the idea that Kyoya has been seen at moments where the mask is somewhat off, and yet he also is putting on another mask while the mask is kind of off, gives me this vibe that he's very, very much more the kid that we saw at the beach episode than we'd like to think.
Like the self-deception and stuff.
Very much has areas, with self-deception, where he's like Tamaki, he's deluded himself.
Right, but it's a much better put together and constructed lie maybe than than Tamaki. So as a result of that, it's not visible to himself or the people around him or.
Right. And I think that's entirely because of the setup that we have and we haven't followed up on yet, which is the father and the brothers.
Yeah.
The idea is that he is a guy who's supposed to have everything figured out.
Right.
Who's supposed to display some, measure of great competence and worth so that his father will probably value him or see him as, a worthy son or someone that maybe, with Kyoya's potential ambitions, his father will grant him something. There will be some reward for this via his father and his brothers. But the fact that he's doing this here, if anything, it might even be something where he's doing this to spite his father and brothers. Who knows?
Totally.
But those are all mystery areas, whereas a lot of the other mystery boxes for the other host club members seem to have been checked. Maybe
they're a lot simpler and obvious.
Right. Tamaki's last one, I think, is related to the fact that his father is related to the superintendent, faculty of Ouran Academy.
Yeah.
And that's not been followed up on.
And given the fact that we're this close to the end of the show, I feel like either we're going to get, whether it's 2 or 3 more episodes, they're all going to be dedicated to specific characters and stuff to make sure that all of that is rounded out and smoothed out
up a bit,
or that we'll still get some of that, but it's just that it won't actually go and catch up to the source material, it'll just be all right, that's the end of the show, which given the fact, then this is going out on a limb here, given the fact that Renga said the Moe Ouran volume 11, if it's a thing where it's 1 per volume, manga volume or whatever, if there were 11 manga volumes at the time of this episode,
that's way more than
I don't think that's 2 cours of manga or anime.
Of anime. Yeah, you usually do between 2 and 5 chapters per episode.
And 5 is
is pushing it. That's a lot.
That is a shit ton.
Yeah, this is not that fast paced in the story. So I would assume 2 to 3.
Right, and if
chapters.
There's 10 chapters per volume about,
it's definitely
Yeah.
We're not even close to 11 volumes.
No.
So, okay.
Maybe it moves faster for comedy, but
there was a little thing here that I felt that was a bit subtle that the twins threw towards Tamaki here, specifically Kaoru.
Oh, yeah.
There was a line where they were saying, do you want our relationships to fall apart? Wasn't our family setting your line of defense against that? And this is referring to the fact that what Tamaki is doing is basically deluding himself
into saying that basically they're just a family.
Well, right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But having her in a romantic way potentially as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, also the family side of things. But then they go back to the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the stuff for their whole backstory and origins.
Right.
But wasn't our family setting your line of defense against that? Now, what I think is rather potentially intelligent here is what he's saying is a family setting. Family is the descriptive word for setting.
Right. So it's basically you doing the whole thing of I'm your father and all that stuff is the I'm the father, Kyoya's the mom.
Kyoya's the mom.
Right. And then you're all the kids and things like that. Right.
Yeah.
And isn't it your line of defense against you know,
this kind of kind of shenanigans that you're stirring up.
Exactly.
And he has no idea what Kaoru's talking about here.
And strictly from that angle, while it definitely would draw some of Haruhi's ire, because she does not like it when he says that.
Yeah.
That is a way to kind of try and corral the rest of the host club into saying, let's not actually pursue serious feelings with Haruhi because that will disrupt this status quo.
Right.
And then we can
they all thought,
well, and then we can all freak out about when someone actually does show up, and then it's we are all defensive. You know, how much of Haruhi's fair flesh did you see that we have not, you know, like been
it's all
made
playing
known
out
to
for
us,
the character, right, Tamaki?
Yeah.
Tamaki, this is a character. This is an act, right? Because we're all a part of the host club, and you're using this to keep things in line, right? As a leader, right? And Tamaki's like, huh? Like, what are you talking about?
Right. I feel like Tamaki needs a lesson in the dangers of method acting. Like, okay, you need to have some kind of anchoring, you know, thing that you can do to be like
an anchor.
All right, you know, like calming gesture, you know, but like, all right, this is who Tamaki is, right? Okay,
Tamaki sometimes needs both hands, like
it'd take a lot,
and the full thing,
and again,
and then Kyoya to come around and hug him from the back, you know,
definitely, and then squee, you know, but another thing that needs to be mentioned amidst all this theorizing. Oh my God, the antics and the representation of the dramatic things that were happening emotionally for the characters and all of that stuff and the comedy for it was gold.
Yes.
Oh my God.
This was
the fact that we
funnier.
got, like, Tamaki turning into a dinosaur, getting wiped out by asteroids and shooting off like a rocket into Music Room 3. And then, of course, Renga and all the other girls with the BL, you know, freaking out and stuff was precious.
Yes.
It was incredible.
It was beautiful.
Absolutely
I also
wonderful.
like that Haruhi has, for the first time, actually shown how in character she would reject someone.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's rather important to remind ourselves is that she is a member of the host club. Just because she has a unique situation doesn't mean that she's not an official member. So doing this with him as a member of the host club, that's what it is.
Well, and I would even say that maybe it's a thing of, hey, yeah, we can hang out, right? Like,
okay,
because she really, when she said the whole friends thing, there's the times when people when there's the friendship rejection where it's just the trying to let them down easy, but you don't actually want to be friends with the person.
Yeah, I know. This isn't that. What I'm saying is that all of this is a typical thing for a host club member to do.
Sure.
So none of the things of where she's doing this is placating him just for the sake of, well, he's, you know, come and requested of me, and I'm not taking him that seriously or anything. No, she's taking this rather seriously.
Yep.
But if any of the other members of the host club had someone in the middle of being hosted to confess their love to them, they cannot accept it. But they have to also, you know, maintain the connection here.
Right.
How many times has a woman probably fallen prostrate into Tamaki's arms and confessed her love to him? And he's like, absolutely, my darling. Our love will last forever.
Right.
And he says that to 27 other girls. That doesn't make him a worse person or anything.
In 3
That's
hours.
part of, yeah, exactly. That is part of the job.
Right.
So Haruhi is doing a good job, and yet she also rejected him in a very obvious way.
Yep, and that's something where the fact that she rejected him, I would say, is a very clear way of her saying, I understand that while you're using the club as a pretense to come here again, right, because you want to talk to me and everything, and I can respect that and all that stuff, and you are free to keep doing this, you know,
absolutely,
if you want to keep hanging out and stuff. But that being said, this is the boundary that I'm putting down.
This is the boundary.
Because Haruhi is such
so mature at times.
Haruhi is so mature and so chill that it is, given the fact that there are all these other characters in the show that are so emotionally
chaotic.
That's a nice way of putting it. I was going to say underdeveloped.
I wanted something that encompassed everyone. So just chaotic is the best thing I could come up with.
And that it revolves around romance. When she hung out with Hikaru, right?
Yeah.
Totally chill, right? And that was kind of a date, maybe like not necessarily anything serious or whatever, right?
Yeah,
but
it might have been, yeah.
Let's just say that I hope all of the members of the host club, especially if they like Haruhi, are paying close attention to how this went down.
Yeah.
Because that could have been you up
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yep.
And at the same time, and that could be a positive or a negative thing, right? If you're scared, let this put you at ease. But at the same time, just because Haruhi's chill and will hang out and all that stuff, when the really serious feelings get brought to bear, she will be upfront about whether that's something she can accept or not.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
why I really...
friend, sure, but I can't match you as far as, any kind of other feelings.
Right. That's why I really want there to be someone that confesses to Haruhi.
Me too.
And the only one that really makes sense at this point,
Is
unless they want
Tamaki.
to go for I'm saying other than Tamaki.
Oh.
Because I think Tamaki could definitely confess by the time the show ends. But if there were to be anyone else, unless they go for some crazy twist with Kyoya or actually like Mori.
Kaoru. Oh yeah. Which again,
those are two different types of twists, mind
right.
you.
Yeah.
So bear that all in mind.
I would love to
I
see
think it'll be
Mori.
Hikaru actually.
Oh man.
Because I think Kaoru is pushing his brother to be like, just do it, man.
Yeah, but
like in some ways it'll be better for them as twins in their relationship to
Right.
have Hikaru do this as fast as possible.
Yes. Although
so that
at the same time,
he can learn from it.
yeah, so that he can learn from it, but at the same time I feel like Hikaru is
Yeah, he's
like
he's
he
struggling.
He was referenced as being like as clueless as Tamaki, but with all of the excuses of youth,
He's
basically,
young, yeah.
that Honey and Takshi are like, we're not expecting anything from him.
No, no, of course
like,
not. That's why I think it's important it comes from someone that's a guaranteed ultimate rejection. Like not in the
Right.
not in the strong rejection, but in the it will eventually get rejected.
because
from
that way it's not a show ender.
Right, it's
or
not
it's
a
not a
show
story
ender.
ender.
It's
yeah.
not a story ender, exactly. It's
Yeah.
something where, at the very least, Haruhi would go out with one of them. And I think
Right.
Haruhi would go out with any of them if they asked, even Tamaki.
Yeah. Well,
But whether or not it would lead to a relationship.
and if anything,
Yeah.
this also might be a good lesson for them if they were, paying attention enough to see it. I'm sure.
I mean,
Honey
Kyoya's
and
taking notes.
Kyoya's taking notes, and Honey and
Constantly.
Takashi were paying plenty attention, so but they probably don't even need this lesson. Is the idea
Right.
that letting your feelings become too strong can be a serious problem.
Yeah.
Not just with regards to the idea of like, I don't know, if they don't like you.
Yeah.
But the idea that could smother the possibility for them to like you, because if you're then confessing and your emotions are already like this big thing,
Yeah.
I can't match that. I can't
Right.
meet up with that, right? But if it's maybe,
Sure. Right.
then possibly something can grow.
Yeah. And that's going to be Tamaki's big
That's
part.
going to be Tamaki's thing, but he is so far
He's got a
long
the
way
ball
to go.
might be rolling. We'll see. We'll
Right.
see. Maybe.
Yeah.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.